Hello, everyone. This is Ivan with Create Your Future. I am a certified life coach. I specialize in personal development, relationships, and the law of attraction. And today, I wanted to do a video about limiting beliefs and blocks. The reason for this is because, as I mentioned in previous videos, I finished a program to further extend my knowledge in helping my clients when it comes to these limiting beliefs that are like just obstructing the manifestation to fully come through. So I wanted to share some insight of that along with a success story where one of my clients that we've been working together for a couple of weeks, has seen a lot of positive results in her life. Okay. But first, I want to remind you that we're currently running a contest. As soon as we hit 100,000 subscribers, three lucky winners will be chosen and they will get a free session with the coach of their choice. All you have to do is comment down below how the law of attraction or the law of assumption has helped you out. And also make sure that you like and share these videos so it gets to a lot of people. Intentionally, I intend for it to inspire a lot of people as well. Okay, so let's jump into the success story. So this client came to me because he was pretty much not feeling himself for a long, long time. He said that he'd been working with a lot of different coaches, but they all had a different approach that really didn't resonate with him, and which was fine. You know, everyone has a somebody that resonates with him, with one another. So you know, he's been trying to really get this, you know, going to where he wants to better his life. He didn't have a specific thing, like a specific person or a job or an opportunity or anything like that. It was most about him. He really wanted to be confident about who he was. He wanted to feel secure in who he was. He felt like he was always just hiding from the world. You know, that's something that he told me. So I remember the first session that we spoke, there was a lot of uncertainty, and the way that he would speak to himself was very, very harsh, you know, very, very harsh. And he would even use a lot of, I just feel like there was like a lot of guilt about receiving the things that he wanted. And it was a constant, you know, thing where he was just like, I just don't want too much because I feel like you know, other people could use it, or you know, sometimes like I get into a relationship, but then I kind of start to wonder whether I can make him happy or not because I don't know if I hold that much love within me. So he would start to like put excuses into the things that were coming into his life and not really appreciating or liking them. Okay, so he would create this distance, and you know, that's where like the failed relationships would come from. Also, like his inability to go up in like, you know, his career because he was always thinking that there was someone better than him or comparing himself to his colleagues. And yes, sure enough, all his colleagues would move on up and he would remain. So he was really tired about living that experience. And he said, I just want to like really do something with myself. And I really just want to focus on me. So one of the things that we discovered through the session was that he had a lot of siblings growing up. So he was always fighting for attention from the whole sibling. So I believe it was like four siblings in total. So he was always fighting for attention. And, you know, there was a sense of abandon because there was a separation within his family. So when that separation occurred, he felt very lost because now it's like, okay, now it's one person that I need to constantly give attention. But obviously at that point, the mother who was taking care of these four siblings was like working and doing her thing. So he felt very alone. So he started to create this idea of like him being on his own because he even like said growing up, I would separate myself a lot from my siblings. I would let them do their thing and I would just be on my own. And it became a pattern to where he was in high school and he really didn't want to associate with a lot of people. He really didn't want to experience, which is like, it's fine. You know, if you're somebody who doesn't want to be so social, it's perfectly fine. But, you know, he was holding himself from experiences and he acknowledged it. So we started to revise the situation of how instead of it being something that was going against him, it was something that was going for him. We started to talk about, you know, independence, you know, strength and power, you know, about going to his life at such a young age and experiencing it. You know, he shared a lot of experience that happened through that were a little bit more personal, and we started to revise all those situations. So revision is a wonderful way to start to release the resistance over a limiting belief. So writing down a different story or acknowledging the whole story and see how that story benefited you now. Okay, because at that moment, when that situation occurred, maybe we weren't aware or we didn't know that we had a choice to pick something that is more suitable for us. And we went based on the insecurity rather than our security. And so that's what we kind of did. So he would go back and he would look at the situation and start to write how that situation made him stronger today. So what came out of it was that a lot of wonderful qualities about him came from all these experiences that he was looking as being something very, very negative. For example, like, we talked about him always um, initially wanting a sense of attention or needing to be attention. Through that attention, I asked, well, what were some of the things that you would do? And, it turns out he's like very artistic and very talented. So he would do a lot of things. So like he would always show parents like, oh, look what I did, look what I built, or look what what I shaped or whatever. So he would do all these things. So it's like, okay, so it allowed that experience. It wasn't that you were seeking attention, it was that you were actually showcasing your talents, showcasing what you could do. And he's like, you know what? It's really interesting because it's something that I really like to do, but I hold off on it. I don't know why. Which I was like, okay, here's another thing that you could do to start to, really get comfortable with yourself and start to appreciate yourself. Focus on the creativity, which I mentioned in several videos. So he says like, yeah, so he started like to paint again. And he says like, I love it. Like it's like a whole new different way of doing it. So he started to do that again. And not only that, like, he is going into work and he's being recognized because he's working with the concept of himself, because we started to work with the idea of him feeling guilty about others, of him having something and the possibility of others not having it. So we talked a lot about like, there's plenty for everyone. There's plenty to go around, that there is no scarcity about anything, that we live in abundance, that we live in prosperity, that opportunities are available for absolutely everyone, that there is someone special for absolutely everyone. And, and what is his and is brought into his life because it is meant to be his. So that's kind of the thought process that we work with. And, it was really interesting because we've been working together for approximately 3 weeks. And in these 3 weeks, this person has manifested money from like random places, but also like, he got in touch with somebody that he really liked in the past. And he wasn't even intending to, reconnect with this person, but this person reached out and said, hey, I've been thinking a lot about you. How are you doing? They met up, they had a great time. So now he's focused on like creating, this healthy concept of himself in the relationship, how he wants to be perceived, how he wants it to go, but he's like doing it with such an ease where he really released the sense of control. And he's going about it with such a fun and exciting way because he's incorporating his creativity, he's making peace with his past, and he's forgiving himself for everything that has happened. So here's another thing, it's forgiveness. Forgiveness is something incredible to do when manifesting, consciously manifesting. Whether it's an old story, whether it's someone from the past, whoever it is, forgiving that person, not necessarily for them, but for you to, and even for them, if you want to rekindle a relationship with them. If there is a lot of story that still, it comes up a lot, forgiveness is the key to start to dissolve that old story and allow for the new story that you're creating to be the solid story. So practicing forgiveness is a great way, and it's so many ways. You could write down a letter to the specific person of saying, I forgive you because maybe you were at a point in your life where you didn't know what you were doing, and there was a part of me that reflecting it onto you, and that's why the story. But I forgive you for that experience, and I'm ready to move forward. Um, whether it was a family member or a friend or anything, it's something that you could do it. You could even do it for inner conversation. Just go within, hear the person apologize, hear the person say what you want to hear. Do it consistently until it starts to become a part of that inner world, where that inner world just dissolves that experience and creates the peace that it's waiting for in order to push out that new story that you're trying to manifest into your reality. So these are some of the great examples that we used when doing this. Another example that I would like to share with you, which is probably one of my absolute favorites, which is self-talk. I tell a lot of my clients, do self-talk. Go on these rampages of just self-love, self-concept, intentions. Just do it. You know that we have time throughout the day. Let's utilize the time effectively. You know, for example, you're commuting to work or you're commuting to the grocery store, wherever you're going. Start going into these rampages where you tell yourself, I'm an amazing, magnificent person. And I, of course, I'm worthy of all these amazing things happening. I believe in miracles because miracles happen to me every single day. You know, I'm exciting, I'm fun, I'm important. You know, everything works out for me. My SP thinks about me night and day, and I feel it, I know it, I am it. You know, so just go it and you don't even have to script it. You know, I was just saying it. So use your inspiration to self-talk and go into these loving rampages of self-concept, self-love, of everything, combine everything, and just say who you are, who you're meant to be, what you're meant to experience, who you are experiencing now in the current reality. And trust me, you'll do an immediate shift. Okay. So I want you to try these things and let me know how it goes. Okay. Please remember that if you ever have any questions about your limiting beliefs or want to dive deeper into the limiting beliefs, I am available for one-on-one sessions. Links are down below. I would love to meet a lot of you. It's been an incredible experience to really have these aha moments with a lot of my clients and get these wonderful results. So if you're looking to get out of that past and move on to the now and stay really focused onto a better future, links are down below so we could get you guys going. All right. It was, as always, it was such a pleasure, and I'll see you next week. Bye.